All right, Chords and Notes Nation, here we are. I am Brian. You were Chords and Notes Nation. And look what we got going on here. Some more Alip Ba Ta. How do we pronounce this? I don't speak Indonesian, so I have to do it phonetically. Lingsir Wengi. Best I can do. A lot of you have requested this, and when I was putting it into the search on YouTube, there were many different options that came up before Alip's version came up, or cover. So I know it is a cover. I don't know. Educate me on what this song is. It seems like from the thumbnails and from what I've seen, is this some sort of traditional Indonesian song? Who originally performed it? Who wrote it? Who sang it? Educate me. Bring me up to speed. You guys have shown up huge Indonesia on this channel, and I have seen that there are many, many more. Well, I shouldn't say many, many more, but there are a lot of really good independent artists from Indonesia. There's a couple more that I want to explore, and I'm trying to decide how I want to do this, because if I go too big with too many artists, I'm not going to get enough of what the artists are doing, because I'm going to have to spend time spreading myself out over all these different artists. But I'll figure out a plan of action, and we're going to do that. We're going to get this going. I want you guys to know, now I live in Wisconsin, and we have some pretty good artists here as well, musicians. There's one band that I want to feature, if I'm allowed to. I don't know if I'm going to run into copyright issues or not. They're called the Lords of the Trident. Now, Indonesia, I'm asking you to partner with me. When I put up a Lords of the Trident video, I would like you guys to show up big watching that as well. Okay, I'm getting thousands of views on these Alip Ba Ta videos. I'd love to get that for our local artists as well. It's kind of like sharing cultural sharing. I think it would be really cool. I'm not affiliated with them. There's no money making involved in it. I just think that Wisconsin artists don't get enough exposure, and we have some pretty darn good bands in this state. Anyways, those of you who are new here, I'm always raw, honest, and unedited. You are in my living room. We are going to watch this. Subscriptions will grow the channel. Likes will grow the exposure of the channel, and those cost you nothing. If you want to go above and beyond, there's super thanks. You can find that below the video. There is PayPal for donations. You can find that information in the description box below. And if you want to become a member of Chords and Notes Nation and get more than just these reactions, but get priority on your reactions, then patreon.com/Chords and Notes Nation. That information is in the description box below. Let's go. Let's see what this is. What was that? What is that? Okay, I'm gonna leave it there because I don't know what that face was at the end. Oh my god! All right, so I got a few things to say about this. I'm not as good of a guitar player as he is, but I know enough about guitars that I can kind of pick this apart a little bit. Now, it wasn't sonically, it wasn't like a tremendously complex song that was just like, wow, you know, it wasn't like virtuoso like Yngwie Malmsteen and Steve Vai and all that. Excuse me, I'm just going to move this just for a little bit, for a second here. But it was a different kind of virtuoso that I've never seen before. Not that it hasn't been done before, but I've never seen it. All right. So the tuning pegs on the headstock that release or create more tension in the strings, which change the pitch. To do that during a song is very risky. I'm assuming those are pretty darn new strings. Because if they're not, you're going to run the risk of breaking the string. But he's doing it. I don't know what the traditional instruments of Indonesia are. But what he was doing with bending the pitch that way, and then bending the strings on the headstock above the nut, okay, that sound was very reminiscent of a sitar. And the changing of the pitch, the tuning, while he's playing, and then turning it back, was really amazing to see him do. I can't say, was he spot on? I don't know. This is the first time I've ever heard this song. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say yes, he was. And a lot of his hammer-on and pull-offs with his fingers on the fret hand was, again, that was what was the last song that we watched together. He was doing that as well. And that takes a lot of muscle memory, especially with what he's doing with his picking hand. Being able to do those two things in conjunction with changing the tune, it was like a dance that he was performing on the guitar. And he was making the guitar sound like a different instrument because he was having to make it change tuning in order to accommodate whatever pitches he needed for the melody. Okay? One of the things I know, probably one of the only things I know about Eastern music when it comes to music that comes out of Asia, generally speaking, you're dealing with more, let's do it this way. In the West, we have whole whole steps and half steps. That's it. Okay, so a half step is from one fret to the next. A whole step is skipping one fret. Okay, so a half step is from here to here, and a whole step is from here to there. All right. If you check out some of my guitar instruction videos on my channel, on my playlist, which I know I have to create more of those. I talk a little bit more about that. We don't have, that's a Western instrument, and it's not set up for quarter tones or smaller even. But in the East, there are instruments that do that. So that's part and parcel of why he was changing the pitch and the tuning in order to accommodate those intervals that aren't naturally on that guitar. Really cool. I've seen, I did see a thumbnail of him. There was some guy with a flute, and I don't know if it didn't look like they were together. It just looks like somebody put the two together in a song. I want to check that out. There was another one with him and a vocalist and someone else. It's very interesting. I'd like to hear and see that in conjunction with some more instruments to see what sort of layering can happen in this song. So the song itself, melodically, the only thing that really attracted me to it was the fact that there were a lot of these bends in pitches, a lot of these intervals that my ears aren't used to. It wasn't like I said, it wasn't an incredibly complex melody. It wasn't a virtuoso performance, but it was virtuoso, if that makes sense. I don't know. But anyways, I think that's all I have for this one. It's got me intrigued. And that's important because I want to follow. I have questions about this song. I have questions about this style of music that I want to explore. So do me a favor and help educate me. Give me a head start on where this song originated, who is the originator of it. I want to be able to maybe even go back and check that out if I can. Like I said, please check out the Wisconsin-based artists that I'm going to put up. I'm going to feature Lords of the Trident. I think I'm probably going to listen to them next and put that video up after this one. Anyways, God bless you. Be well. Stay well. Read Joshua 1:9. That's the key to getting through the hard times that we're going to go through here soon. All right? We're getting close. We're getting close to the end, folks. And just remember, Jesus loves you.